Welcome back to Central Valley Wedding and Special Events. I have Miranda Munoz here with me. Thank you for joining me, Miranda.
Hi.
And we were just talking a little bit about how you're usually not on this side of the camera. You're usually on the other side of it.
Other side.
Can you tell us a little bit about the work that you do?
So I'm a lifestyle and wedding photographer, mainly Central Valley, but mostly just like California. I do Southern California, Northern California. I've traveled out of state before for weddings. But yeah, usually I'm the one like behind all of the lights. So I'm familiar with it, just not this particular side of it.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite area to travel to, Southern California, Northern California, or favorite place to shoot?
I do love Southern California, at least like shooting there, but there's so many venues. I've done photos at like the Mission in like San Juan Capistrano. So like there's like beautiful places, and so I think that there's like a lot to choose from. I have a wedding next year that's going to be like pictures of like Pasadena City Hall, and so like the architecture of the buildings, the churches, a lot of Catholic churches, weddings that I've done, and so I think that's probably my favorite. Maybe because I'm from the Central Valley and I've seen it all before.
Right, but you like seeing those kind of
something
unique
new.
Venues.
Yeah.
Very nice. How did you get into photography?
I got into it more so children's photography because after I became a mom, I just started doing like pictures galore, and my husband kind of teased me that like we were gonna go broke, like getting photos done professionally like every single month.
Right.
And so like he got me my first DSLR, and from there it was like, okay, I need lights, and I was building sets and like just doing photos for like my daughter and our friends. I've had friends who like asked to do like maternity pictures, things like that. I never charged. I never thought that I would ever do like an actual business. But I just, after about a year and a half of like my husband and like close friends encouraging me, I started getting into that. But I had somebody give me really good advice, and they asked me like, you know, shoot whatever like you're passionate about, like let that be your niche.
Yeah.
And so I love weddings, I love couples, so that's my favorite, and so that's my focus.
That's so great. So do you always go out to a venue, or do you have a little studio of your own that people can come to?
I usually do like outdoor. I mean, I will set up like a studio setting for things like cake smashes or something like that, or like a newborn. Obviously, we'd want to do inside.
Right.
I do like in client home. I can do at my home. I love to shoot outdoors. Usually, like obviously for weddings, an engagement, it's all outdoors, all traveling to the venue.
Right. Very nice. But you have that flexibility if they want to do something outdoors. That's so great.
You do get both people. Like some people like really don't like to be outside. Some people like a more controlled environment. So yeah, it's nice to have both sides.
Makes sense. And you were saying that sometimes you do bring on a second photographer with you if there's a need for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's how I first started. I started getting into weddings by assisting, by second shooting, and from there I like worked up to like doing associate shooting for people that I admire. Like I've had like mentors and like other people in the business, and then I started like getting my own like lead weddings, and so but it's definitely more fun to have somebody, and I think it's so much happens at weddings. It's so fast paced. It's nice to have like an extra set of hands to be like, let's move lights, let's do this, let's grab me some batteries. So
fun to have an extra set of eyes and what to capture.
Yes, different lenses, different like perspectives. It's nice. It's just better for the client. It gives them like a more well-rounded feel of their day when they're looking back at their pictures later.
That's so neat.
Yeah.
I love that. And you're usually there from start to finish, I assume, so when the bride's getting ready.
Yes, that's my preference. Every bride is different, and so like I'm very flexible as far as coverage. I always have consultations, and I'll ask the bride like what's important, like what do you really want to see. Some brides want groom getting ready and all of that, and they want like getting ready with their girls and their dress and everything before, and they like pictures of them arriving, and that's my favorite too. The longer I'm there, the more of a complete story I can tell. And I love to do albums and galleries like in a way that tells your story from start to finish.
Yeah.
I want people to, even if they weren't there, to be able to like look at your photos and feel like they were. But it really just depends. I've also had a bride say like, you know, like monetary wise, like financially, like it's just, I want like the essentials. Let's start out like ceremony, let's get, you know, whatever, I'm happy
so whatever fits the bride's budget and what they're wanting, you can do that.
Yeah, but I'm usually very good about like breaking up time, and I've had like breaks in between if they need like that morning coverage and then they want more of the after, like we can definitely like work with that as well.
Very nice. How far in advance do people usually contact you if they want to use you for a wedding?
Oh my gosh, it varies so much. I think like an industry standard is usually like around 9 months, 6 months like on the low end, but I've had someone who booked me like 6 weeks before their wedding. Photographer fell out. I just had a bride.
So it was a
booked
rush situation.
Yes, yes. I already have a bride booked for like May of next year.
Okay.
And yeah, so I mean, some people a year in advance, some people more toward the low end. So it varies, but typically most people it's like 6 months, 6 to 9 months is the average.
And how do people get in touch with you?
I'm everywhere. So I'm on Google, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I have my own website. So anywhere.
All of those
Yes,
work equally
anywhere
well.
you can find me. My phone number's listed at anything. So very easy to get in contact with.
Wonderful. And you can contact us here at Central Valley Talk. We can get you Miranda's information. Miranda, I do have one final question for you.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite moment to capture at a wedding?
During ceremony or like
All together,
wedding?
the whole event.
I mean, I love ceremonies. I love seeing like the groom see his bride for the first time. I love it when they do first looks and it's like just them and seeing like their grooms get like very emotional, like seeing their brides for the first time. I'm a sucker for first dances.
Okay.
I love first dances. So and it's all so good. It's humbling. I think it's like somebody's like most special, like most important day of their life, and so it's really like unique for someone to be able to like sit there and like capture it and like
Absolutely.
remake you feel all those feels like all over again when you see your photos. So I love it all.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
me today. It was great to have you.
Thank you.